everybody, welcome to Spirit Speakeasy. My name is Travis, and today we are going to be making a sidecar. A sidecar is a classic spirit from the 1900s, and it is a brandy based cocktail. Most of the time, the recipes call for cognac as its base spirit, but today we're going to use an Armagnac. It's a Larry Armagnac. And if you don't know much about Armagnac, we will talk about it in another installment, so stay tuned. First things that we're going to want to do is we're going to get a shaker tin. We're going to fill it with ice. A few scoops. We're going to start with 1.5 ounces of the brandy or Armagnac. Next, we're going to use an orange liqueur. I'm going to use dry Curacao. You can use any orange liqueur you prefer. Grand Gallet, Grand Marnier, Cointreau, any of those. We're going to use 3/4 of an ounce. And then to top it off, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Fresh is best. Always. Cap that off and shake away. I like to shake it for 10 or so seconds, long enough for the tin to get nice and cold. You can shake it for longer if you want. And then we are going to double strain that in a chilled coupe glass. I just had this one sitting with some ice water to cool it down. And then we'll strain it. And a little lemon. I like to squeeze it. And there you have it. A sidecar. Hi everybody, welcome back to Spirit Speakeasy. I'm Travis. This is Sarah, Justin, Steve, Sabra, and Mike. And today we're going to do a side-by-side tasting of some cognac and some Armagnac. So, most people are pretty familiar with cognac. They've heard it a lot. A pretty popular brand is Hennessy. Most of the people here have either heard of that or tasted it at one time. And then Armagnac is not as common or well known, and I just want to talk about a little bit about what they are and what the differences are, and then we're going to taste side by side and see what these guys think about it. So Cognac is a brandy that is made in the Cognac region of France. That's where it gets its name from. And Armagnac is a brandy that's made in the Armagnac region of France, and that's also where it gets its name from. A little bit about the two. There are some differences. They're not just both made the same and bottled in different regions. The cognac, or the cognac, is when they grow the grapes in the Cognac region, they ferment the grapes in the Cognac region, and then it's all distilled in the same region. To get the label of cognac, that has to happen, and it's the same with Armagnac. However, when the cognac is distilled, they use pot stills, and they distill multiple distillations to help bring the alcohol content to its final proofing. They then take, and sometimes they will mix, kind of do a blend, a lot of times like they do with whiskey, to get the taste, and after they've come out of the barrels and all that stuff, and then we get the cognac on the shelf to drink. In Armagnac, when it's distilled, it is distilled in column stills, and it's only distilled once. So it tends to retain a lot of the flavors from the mash or the grapes from the initial flavoring. So yeah.
So which one do you prefer?
After tasting the Armagnac, I definitely prefer that. It's to me, it's much sweeter. It lasts longer on the palate, I feel. I feel like the cognac is kind of there and gone quickly. So, and you'll taste that, and I think that that's due to the distillation process between the two. The Cognac is very spirit forward, alcohol forward, and the Armagnac tends to have a little more of a full body. So, the Cognac is on your left, and the Armagnac's on your right, and we can taste whichever one first. We can look at this. You can see the color is a nice kind of amber, dark color. To me, it's much. We're American, obviously, and we get a lot of exposure to whiskey, and I relate this to a lot of how the whiskeys are made and named throughout the world, bourbon or Scotch or something like that. So, go ahead with what you're saying.
I find it interesting that for Cognac, they use a pot still, which is traditionally a way you want to keep all of the flavor in, but then they distill it multiple times, over and over. And you get a little bit less flavor out of like the Hennessy than I do or have with Armagnac, just because it's only distilled once, and I don't know how many plates their column still has, but I can't imagine it has too many to leave that much flavor in the bottle.
Right, and I don't know a ton about all of that. I haven't delved into all that research.
I'm sure that's a deep dive.
Yeah, it definitely is different there.
Seems to be the case with most spirits, though. You scratch the surface, and then all of a sudden, it's a rabbit hole that you just never-ending follow.
So the Armagnac actually, it's quite a bit smoother than the Cognac.
Yeah, the Cognac has a little bit of a bite to it.
Yeah.
So I do want to mention the Hennessy is a VS, so it's a very special. So it's aged 5-ish years before it's bottled. The Armagnac is a VSOP, so it's more of the 7 to 10 year range. It did spend a little more time in the barrel.
Yeah, I do like the nose on it.
It does show up a little bit. You do you get a little bit more
flavors are just much more intense for me.
Yeah.
And it lingers.
It
does.
smells sweeter right off the bat.
I can taste it for
Absolutely.
a good 10, 20 seconds after it's left my mouth.
It's not
Yeah.
as harsh either. The Hennessy kind of bit.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I was saying. It's a lot.
Yeah,
much
that's
more
More
mellow.
mellow,
I
but
think-
the age difference can add a lot too.
Yeah, I think that's probably what a lot of what's coming through too. Is it's mellowed out with the age.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the Armagnac flavor hangs in your mouth longer.
It does.
You get much more of the after flavor of it, whereas the Cognac, you get the taste up front,
And then just alcohol.
it dissipates.
Yeah.
So, and this Armagnac you can find in the Utah State Liquor Store.
Yes. It is a
It's a limited distribution.
limited distribution, so you can have to...
So it's behind the glass container.
It is, yeah. So,
For-
it is a little more on the pricey side. It's $60 a bottle, whereas you can get the Hennessy that we have here in Utah for about $40. So, a little bit more pricey if you're going for it, but I definitely recommend it. It's fantastic. It makes a wonderful sidecar. There are many different distributors also. We have the Laris Inglés here and the Hennessy. There are many more of both that are there. These are the ones that were most readily available to us, but please get out there and experiment, enjoy them. Yeah.
That's the best part about drinking is experimenting.
Yes. That's
Awesome.
Well, thanks, Travis. That was a delight.
Yeah.
That was.
Good. Thank
It was
you, guys.
fantastic.
And
They just kind of keeps evolving the longer it sits there.
It does. You get a lot of that stone fruit, and then it changes into like a
Vanilla.
raisin sort of.
Yeah, I get a lot of vanilla out of that.
Yeah, a lot of vanilla as well.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I need a bottle of that.
yeah, we'll track some more down.
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Next
Thank
time
you.
we'll see you later.
Keep the spirit.
Keep the spirit.
Keep the spirit.